Hello everyone, my name is Alex and you are watching the channel of PFS Scouting Agency. In today's video we are having an interview with a basketball player who is entering NBA draft of 2020. I think a lot of you young basketball players are interested to see a story of an international player who started to play basketball, then he gained his first achievements, then he became a part of some big sports club or sports team, and eventually he became an NBA player. And today we have such story for you. We are doing an interview with Sandro Mamukelashvili. That's a basketball player from country of Georgia, and he's at his 21 years of age played in 3 different countries. He played in Georgia, Italy, and United States. In the United States he played for one of the top basketball high school teams, and then he played in high major division 1 basketball university. And Sandro will tell you his story from the very beginning to where he is now, when he is one step away from becoming an NBA player. Sandro will tell us more about the difficulties he faced during his journey, and I think this video is essential to watch to any basketball player who has big goals in his sports career. Sandro, for those who don't know you very well or who never heard of you, can you tell a bit more about your story? I know that you played in 3 different countries. You are from country of Georgia, then you played in Italy, you are playing currently in America, you played in high school, you play in Division 1 college. Can you tell more about yourself, how you moved between Georgia, Italy, America, and just like the main things so people would get an idea of who you are?
So I was born in New York, but when I was really, really young, my mom decided to go back home, like where she was working. My father was working there, so it was kind of like they were visiting here, visiting U.S. when I was born. So we went back home. I was a couple of months old, and around 7, I started playing basketball because of my brother and my grandma. They both played basketball. Just started in a little club, nothing serious, it was just for fun. But, like around 10, I started taking more serious. I loved it, I loved doing it. So I basically went to a bigger club in Georgia, which had better facilities, better coaches, so I could kind of expand my game. And, when I was 14, like one of my friends knew Nema, and kind of like we got connected through him, and he kind of set up workouts for me in Europe. And I feel like it was crucial for me to leave because, Georgia is a small country and the competition is not that good. You always play the same guy. So if you want to kind of move to the next level, you gotta move. So Nema got me a couple of workouts. It went good. I came back, so I waited for him, and he worked his magic, kind of said that Biella was interested, and we even didn't think about it. We just went because, as I said, my family took it serious. I took it serious. So for us, it was a blessing to have the opportunity to leave. So I went over to Biella, amazing place. Probably best 2 years I ever had. Going was hard. People gotta understand that if you want to leave, it won't be easy. You don't you go into a different country where you don't know the language, you don't know the people, but if you love the game, you're gonna do it. It's all about loving the game and loving the process, what comes with it. So basically left. It was really hard at the beginning. Didn't know Italian, didn't have friends, so kind of learned a lot, but in in a half a year, I already was kind of decent in Italian. I understand what they were saying, and the game was getting a lot better for me because, I had a great coach, Federico Danna, so he kind of taught me a lot. So I went through that, through the process, kind of for 2 years. played Adidas Next Generation tournament in Rome with Stella Azzurra. Also went to like 3 finali nazionali or 4 finali nazionali. It was the best part when you enjoy the game and everybody around you kind of enjoys the game too. So definitely, I love Biella. Great spot, but the same happened there. I had to go pro and play for like a EuroLeague, Euro Cup team, or I had to go and choose. Like a college, high school career where, you know, for me, if I wanted to go to NBA, I feel like I had to come to high school because that was my goal. That was my dream to play high school basketball. And once Mount Verd reached out, it was no brainer. Like I was like, okay, I got to leave. Left, went to Mount Verd for a year. Amazing coach, Kevin Boyle. I feel like he taught me a lot too. Kind of always stayed in the gym with him in the mornings. Great guy. Worked out with him. Had a lot of offers. When you go to high school like Mount Verdi, you have automatically a lot of offers because people see you. So played with RJ, Andrew, Leakey, all the good players, Marcus, and Seton Hall was kind of showing the most love. Like they always came to practice, showed me loyalty. Kevin Willard is a really good coach, so I decided to go to Seton Hall. My freshman year was kind of shaky. I was learning. I had seniors in the team. But, from my sophomore year, he gave me that trust. He gave me my minutes. And, it just kind of built from there.
Sandro, and can you tell a bit more about level of basketball, youth basketball in Italy? Because everyone knows that Spain is big time, and if you want to go to play somewhere in Europe, everyone mostly thinks about Spain or Serbia. And Italy, I would say, is not underrated, but not highlighted enough. So can you tell a bit more how Italy is good for development of the players, what level is there, and so on?
So I feel like Italy kind of is a great place to live, first of all, with the people. People kind of are all around you. They're nice, and the basketball schools are really good. Not schools, the clubs. Every club who has a tough team in Serie A or Serie A2 has a great developing program, and their main goal is to get you to their first team. So basically, I feel like going in, they invest everything in you. And it is underrated because, Spain has a name and Serbia has a name too. But I feel like you got to understand with Italy that there are a lot of good coaches, and people don't notice that. And like, I feel like it gives you all types of platform because if you know what's Finale Nazionale, it just kind of like, it's a great tournament where a lot of people attend, a lot of scouts come. And like, I feel like Italy gives you all types of stuff, what Serbia and Spain can give you. You travel to every game, and it's amazing travel for like 14-year-old kid. Everything like food, housing, basketball. I feel like they take care of everything together, and it's a great place to be. So I feel like people gotta just kind of give it more value to Italy than other places.
And when you came from Italy to the States, was it a hard adjustment, first of all, basketball-wise? Because you came to like top basketball school, which is like, I don't know, whether number one, number two, number three. How you adjusted, and what what were your main difficulties in adjustment?
For sure. Coming here was hard as hell. Playing with like top prospects in the state, it was kind of hard. Everybody had high expectation on our team, and kind of Coach Boyle was so good. He just kind of knew everything about basketball. But speed of the game and the way they play game here is so much different. In Europe, it's more structured. The basketball is more slower. Here, the pace is so much faster. It just kind of goes on and on and on and on, and they don't stop. And I feel like the organized basketball stops here. It's more like kind of one-on-one, and if you go through your man and help come, you just dish. You know what I'm saying? So it's more kind of like ISO game here. So I feel like in a shooting game, you got to shoot. You got to know how to play one-on-one, basically here, and it's a lot faster. You get the rebound, they push, you run. It's all about running. And back in Europe, everything is so kind of structured. Like you got sets. You kind of run everything, and you just find better pass, better shot. Extra pass. And here it's kind of like all over the place. So when you come here, you got to have that mentality that you got to go and work for it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you, because everybody knows how to play when you go to Mount Verde. So you got to have that mentality. You should be strong enough to kind of sometimes take it on yourself, play selfish, but not selfish as for you, but go one-on-one sometimes, kind of develop your game, because a lot of people are kind of selfish. And the best part about my group, nobody was selfish at Mount Verde. But like when you go camps, the big camps where in America, they all kind of play for themselves. So you got to understand that coming here, you got to be tough mentally, because everybody will try you and everybody going to go one-on-one. So you got to be capable. You got to be able to defend good, and kind of play one-on-one.
And when you went to college from high school, was it a hard adjustment, and what were the difficulties between high school and college basketball?
The hardest part about college is depends which program you go to, but sometimes you got seniors, juniors who are ahead of you, and they kind of paid their dues. They already set, they watched the game, they learned, and now it's your turn. So going in, if you're not highly ranked recruit, going into kind of Kansas or North Carolina or Duke, it's hard as a freshman. You really got to adjust. You got to learn the speed of the game there, and mostly physicality. In college, everybody's so physical. You got to be physically ready to play. So definitely a really big adjustment from high school to college's physical game, and like the atmosphere. Like college games, you got 19,000 people in attendance, and high school games you probably got 2,000. So definitely a big adjustment, and kind of physicality, and the way the game is played is really different. So going in, if you're not highly ranked, you should not put your head down. That's where you learn how to work hard. That's where you learn how to depend on yourself and kind of sacrifice yourself for the team. First sit, and then kind of go crazy, and kind of whatever you work to just show.
And tell a bit more about your typical day at university, because when you play on such high level, it's basically same as a professional sport. You have a lot of practices. It's very serious, and how you combine it with your studies, like how your usual day looks like.
So around, I want to say 7:45, you wake up, go to weight room, lift weights, kind of just get ready for the day. After weights, you go to class. You got 2 classes every day. Kind of take care of the classes. And then from there on, it's all about basketball. You watch film first for probably an hour and a half. Depends if you played bad or good. Then it's after film, you go and you stretch, you get taped, all that stuff. You head out to practice around 3 hours and a half every day. After practice, you gotta stretch, you gotta go get an ice bath, hot tub, whatever you need. And after you go home, and it's every day the same thing almost. But sometimes instead of lifting, you go shooting in the morning. So definitely 2 workouts every day, 1 large and one hard practice, and 1 kind of light practice, and in between, and definitely study hall. If you got a lot of work, we got people who help us. So you go to study hall and kind of for an hour and a half, do your work and go home.
What do you think separates you from other young players who tried to go similar path to leave Georgia or to leave their country, go to Europe, go to States, and basically you are right now one step away from getting to the NBA, and some kids who are maybe even similar talent as you didn't get even close to what you achieved. Why do you think you got there and some didn't? What like separates you from others?
First of all, I feel like I just didn't give up. A lot of people, as soon as it gets hard, they just kind of like, I'm done. Like it's hard. I'm done, and they just kind of go back and trying to figure out something else and find the easy way. But there's no easy way. Like people gotta understand there's no easy way. If you want to achieve something, there will be always bumps in the road, which you gotta kind of go through them. You got to find a way. So definitely I give credit to my family because of that, because every time I thought it was too hard, they made it look easy. So not even easy, but they found a way. So definitely my family kind of helped me out. And I feel like every guy who's going through something, they got to have family who kind of supports them. And that kind of helps you a lot. Also, the people. I got lucky with the people. Like, for example, Nam, Fed, Don, my coach, Coach Boyle, like whoever I met, they were kind of like so helpful and there for me. Frank, so always there for me, always helped me. So definitely the people I met where I got lucky, definitely one thing. And, I feel like it's also mental. Going somewhere, you struggle mentally at first, but I feel like you got to just fight it. So definitely, I think 3 things that helped me a lot are those: the mentality, the people I met, and not giving up, but also kind of work hard. The first rule of getting somewhere is working hard. So you can't just kind of, go over the rule of working hard and expect something to happen. So definitely, I realized that once I came to America that I had you gotta constantly every single day do extra. If you want to be the best player, you gotta do the best. Like you gotta do a lot of stuff. And I feel like people don't realize that. People think one time they go to practice and then they're good, for the rest of the day. But no, go twice, go 3 times, do something at home, and definitely that's what helped me. I constantly try to get better. And once you get that mentality where you try to get better, that's why we're going to help you separate from the others. And, and then, with the faith, with God with you, everything will be possible because you're going to be on the right track.
Guys, that was a story of Sandro Mamukelashvili, and if you have a question for Sandro, you can write it in the comment and we will forward it to Sandro and answer your questions. Also, if you have questions to us or you have questions about video, also put them in comments. Subscribe to our channel to see more such interesting content about basketball and different sports in USA and Europe. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time.